Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Whatever time you're watching the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation, we say thank you. I am Barry Brown, Coach Brown, author of the number one book for youth student athletes, Success in the Classroom, Sports and Life, and also a member of the leadership team for the nonprofit organization Youth Education and Sports. Now, you know what we do with the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation. We highlight the best student athletes, the best parents, the best coaches, anybody that works with young people. That's who we highlight, and we like to have these great conversations. And tonight is no other. Listen, this amazing lady has produced an NFL football player, and it's a young man I met when I believe he was in the 10th grade over at Morrow High School, my alma mater, his alma mater. And man, this lady, when I met her, the smile you see on her face right now, the smile she had on her face when I met her, when her son was in high school, she was working with her, not only her son, but she was like a mother to other kids. I noticed that right off the rip. And now, just most recently, she experienced something that a lot of people would never experience in their lives. She experienced her son having his jersey retired at the great Morrow High School in Morrow, Georgia. So, without further ado, good evening, and how are you doing, Miss Tammie Hill? How are you doing this evening?
Good evening. I am great. This is such an honor, such an honor. And I remember that interview that you had with him there at after practice on the
Yep.
field, and he was talking to me. One thing I used to always try to tell him, I said, when someone talking to you, don't say pause and make sure you have a complete statement after the question is asked. So that was
Absolutely.
that's a great memory for me. It's my first time meeting you.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I remember that video too. And every time I'm on YouTube doing some work behind the scenes and I see those old videos of him and Coach Weeks and Jimmy Calloway and the
Yeah.
other young men. Yeah, it's a great moment looking back at that and me being, playing at Morrow as well, being a student and a graduate of Morrow High School is always great to see that next generation come up and do great things. So that's a beautiful thing. And before we get started with this conversation, it was also when I brought back um, Andre Hastings, one of the best, football players in Clayton County history. Matter of fact, the state of Georgia history, and across the country that played at Morrow High School, and we're still good friends today. When Andre came back and we spoke to the team, and I think I mentioned this to you last week when we were at the award the jersey retirement ceremony for Jamal. I was saying that Jamal was the only person that asked a question that day when Andre was there. And right then I said, "Oh man, this young man is a leader and is going to continue to be a leader." And that's exactly what he has become. So that's why I wanted to have you on this call, on this video session, so we can talk about all this stuff and you can tell us how you handle these situations, how Jamal handled these situations as he grew up and has become who he has become. So salute to you, Tammie. Real talk. Salute to you and what your family has done. Because I remember I remember meeting your brother. I remember all of that. And just awesome. Just
Thank you.
awesome. Yes,
Been a
ma'am.
journey. It's been a journey.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we want to get
Thank
into it. So let's start off right here. Let's start off right here.
Okay.
When did you first realize that there was something special about Jamal? Like, how old was he? What do you remember about? Like, man, wait a minute, Jamal. You know what? Jamal might just do some things.
I sit here and I can think about that. I think back at when he first started and wanted to play football, not something
Mm-hmm.
that we put him into to say it was an outlet for him, but it was at a time, really at a time in our life when he had just lost his father. We're military, retired military. His father passed away at 5, and he was phenomenally very, very close to his dad. Very, very close to his dad. I laugh about it because I remember I tell people used to see them together all the time. They used to think he was a single father. It's like, no, you know,
Yeah,
because
where
they
the
were like,
mama? Where the mama?
exactly. But they were like two peas in a pod. I'd be like, come go with me. He like, I don't know, I'm going with my dad. So, you know,
Mhm.
so in that transitional time, and that was his healing moment in football, was that healing therapy for him. I remember when he was about 7 or 8 years old, and he was out there playing, and he said, I love this, and his brother stood by him and stuff, and I knew he was special when he said to me at about 8 or 9, he said, Mama, I'm going to D1 school, and I'm gonna play in the NFL one day.
Wow.
You're gonna see me on TV. And I said, if that's your dream, I said you can do it. You do it. He said, I am. He said, I am. I'm go D1 and I'm playing in the NFL. So at a young age, that gave me the blueprint on what I needed to do to help him get to where his dream wanted to take him.
Wow. So now, parents, listen to what Miss Tammie Hill just said. Once her son spoke, he spoke greatness at a young age. And then she said she knew what she had to do to continue to pour into him and to help him reach his goals. Yes, parents, coaches, we have to do our part to help these young people reach their goals. That's awesome. That's awesome that he recognized that at such a young age. That's what's amazing to me. So now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this then, Tammie. That goes right into this. So you saw that, you said 8 or 9 years old, he said that to you.
Hmm.
Right? He was about 8 or 9, right? Okay.
Yes.
So what was Jamal like, you know, off the field, on the field, when he was playing youth sports and in elementary school and middle school? Like, how was he? Uh, was he a introvert, extrovert? How was Jamal when he was that young?
Um, Jamal was he was always such a humble child. He was never a follower, which I thank God for that. He was always a leader, one that he thought things through before action were held, because there's a consequence. And being military, he saw the consequence with his older brother, with his dad, installing those things in him. There's a for every action, there's a consequence. So you have to learn to be the best you, no matter what your crowd is. And I saw leadership in him way back in elementary and middle school, because Jamal was this phenomenal athlete. Jamal did AAU track, so it kept me busy. He did AAU basketball. He did football. So it was always something. And one of the things that we had to balance was none of this could take the place of what you had to do in the classroom first. That was
Mm-hmm.
always first. All of this is extra curriculum,
Mm-hmm.
extra stuff that you would be able to do. But if the first thing is not done, we definitely ain't doing the rest of this, because that's
Right.
not your job. Your job and we have to install that in our kids. Your first job is to be a student,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and everything else will come together. But I need you to be that student athlete, not just an athlete. I need you to
Right.
be exemplified in the classroom. I need them to be able to say how you were in the classroom, and that carries over to how you're going to perform on the field. You can't separate the two, they got to go together.
Right. Wow. I like that. I like the fact that you said you have to put them together. You can't separate the two. And then you saw the leadership in him early. So, student athletes, parents, coaches that are watching this, yeah, these kids can actually display leadership skills at a very young age. And we as parents, teachers, coaches, we have to see it. We have to be paying enough attention to say, oh, wait a minute. Here's the leader of my little league football team, my little league basketball team, my track team. Here he is. Here she is right now. I see it. And we have to nurture that and help them to continue to learn what a leader is and how to do that. Wow, that's beautiful. And then I love what you said, Tammie, about the fact that he understood at an early age about
Oh,
consequences.
oh yeah.
Now, let's go deep into that for a second. What are your because as I go around to these schools and I've been in schools across this country, and it saddens me that it seems like a lot of these young men, young women don't realize there are consequences in the world. Like there's natural laws, there's written laws, there's universal laws, there's spiritual laws. I mean, when we say something, we're putting something out in the atmosphere. So just like Jamal spoke and said, "Hey, mama, I'm going to be a professional athlete. I'm going to a D1 school." I'm like, he spoke positive things, but we can also speak negative things, and
Mm-hmm.
those have consequences too. So go a
Yeah.
little. Can you and you come, a military background? Can you speak a little bit more about consequence, like our actions and our words actually mean something? Can you speak a little bit more to that?
Well, when we think about that, it's like once you put something out in the atmosphere, oops, and I'm sorry, don't take it back.
Right.
So we have to remember that somebody's always watching you.
Oh, yes.
Someone's always watching you. And what you don't do when you think nobody's looking speaks to more of your character than it does when a crowd is standing around you. Because and I say that to say this as young people, you know, just because the video looks good, that's not reality. we,
Right.
we have to stand on the real world and what is the reality of today. Because and I work in the mental health field. I've worked in HR for over 40, 50 some years, and I see people come through with jobs, and sometimes your past can sign you up for some stuff that you never thought would be your future. So
Ooh,
you have to be
yeah.
careful,
Yes.
because when you think that that may be forgotten, what's written on paper holds gravity in your now
Yes.
and your next. It holds such great gravity in your now and your next. So just make wise decisions. Don't make haste decisions. Don't be a follower, and don't think everything that you see everybody doing, that's not their real life. We have to have a reality check.
True. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Tammie, this is Miss Hill, Tammie Hill, mother of Jamal Hill, number 56 with the Houston Texans right now. And she is dropping some jewels on us about consequences, about our past. Yes, our past can catch up with us. If we make mistakes as a young person, as a young adult, these things can come back and bite us. Absolutely. It definitely can happen. I've seen it, and it's very unfortunate when it does.
Yes.
So thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that, Tammie, because that's critical for all of us. That's critical for us adults to
It
understand that.
is. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Wow.
Mhm.
So now you mentioned the tragedy of losing your husband when Jamal was about five. You said 5 years old.
Yes. Mhm.
What? Wow. So I know that was a tremendous loss to the family. And are there any other moments in this journey that I've that with your family that was especially challenging, other than, because that has to be the most challenging moment. But are there other moments that you would like to talk about that your family may have gone through while Jamal was on this journey, while you was on this journey with Jamal, while the entire family was on this journey with Jamal? What were some of the challenging moments that that this family faced? Because a lot of people say, "Oh man, well he made it to the NFL. It's all good, man. He had a charmed life and all this stuff." And now I know that's not true. You know that's not true, but people might
Yeah.
look at it like that. So can you share
Yeah.
some of the
You know,
challenges that family may have faced?
right. And it's one of the things that I say to people all the time. I say you see God's glory, but if you only knew the story.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
because I can, in the moments on Jamal's journey, I can remember the senior year. Well, we'll go back to like middle school. It was challenging. Jamal was playing
Mhm.
basketball. It was one point in his life that he didn't want to play football anymore.
Oh
I,
wow.
I remember that, and he was just like, after he got injured playing basketball, he was like he gives up. But it was other players, other teammates that saw the greatness and like, man, we need you. And they encouraged him to get back into it, to fall back in love with it. And that's what he had to do. Because when he
Mhm.
had made that decision, I'm not going to play anymore, I wasn't going to talk him into playing because I ain't got to go out there and run. I ain't got to go and catch any ball. That has to be something that he desires. He has a
Mhm.
desire and want it for himself more than I want it for, because him playing football is not my dream. It's not my come up.
Right.
Him playing football is his success. It's his story. I'm just a so senior year, early sign. He didn't sign early. He wasn't a 5-star athlete. Um, and because he didn't sign early, I remember December came, and even before that happened, 40 something offers from different schools, everything went silent.
Right.
No more offers, no phone calls coming. I didn't know how this process worked, so I didn't know how to navigate through that. And my biggest moment in this and challenging was, I can help so many other people, but now my son was hurting. How do I help him through this
Mhm.
mentally? Because he felt like his world was crumbling around him. Oh, I had all these great things and then nothing's happening. And we prayed about it, and I just kept encouraging him. You know, if you love it, then believe in your dream. Don't give up on the best you, who the best you can be. Don't give up on it. It's not what. And then suddenly, we got the call, we got the official visit, but that was such a rough emotional time in his life because
Yeah.
he was doubting himself, and he was like, well, if only I had signed early. So don't doubt your greatness. It may not
That's right.
be the it may not be the path or work out exactly how you thought it was going to work out, but when you say to yourself, what God has for me is for me, trust in the process. I tell every parent, let them trust in the process. Don't, and remember, they're still young men. They're trying to figure it out. Don't put so
Mhm.
much pressure on them. They're trying to figure it out. Encourage them and support them, but don't they have enough pressure just being themselves.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I love that. And Tammie, what you went off screen, so check your video for me. But what I'm going to respond to what you just said right there, because you said several things. You talked about you talked about a point in Jamal's life when he thought about quitting. He didn't want to play sports anymore because of injury and being in pain. And that's a very, very serious moment, because I know when we were growing up in high school and things of that nature, we did not have social media and all these things that these kids can actually see and and watch these other student athletes from across the country, across the world actually, and see what they're doing, which can bring on depression. You mentioned the phrase mental health not long ago, and that's critical because now these young people are exposed to so much so fast that they can easily get down on themselves when something happens. And it's important that we as parents, teachers, administrators, coaches, everybody that's involved in these young people's lives, that we're paying attention and that we continue to encourage them, like you mentioned. Also, I want to say thank you for mentioning the fact that, hey, you can never, ever give up, regardless of what you're doing. Like, it doesn't have to be sports, it can be something else. Do not give up. And then you talked about, hey, and this is real critical in my opinion, us parents living through our kids. You literally said, "Hey, playing football is not my dream. That's my son's dream. I'm just gonna support him because he's my son, and I want to see him do everything that he's supposed to do." And so, with that being said, that's what I love. That's what I love is the fact that you made sure you said, "Hey, that's not my dream. That's his dream, and I'm going to support him and help him become the man first and foremost that he needs to become." I like that. I love that, Tammie. And and I'm going to take a quick break here because we got some comments. So let's see. some of these comments that came through here. Uh, let's see. We have okay. We got Destiny Brian saying hello. Hello, Destiny. Let's see who else we have. We got Madison Jacobs. So how you doing, Madison? Thank y'all for watching. I hope you learned something today. So everybody that's watching, you are watching and listening to the mother of Jamal Hill, number 56 with the Houston Texans in the NFL. You're listening to Miss Tammie Hill tonight as she talks about the journey that her family went on with her son, Jamal Hill. So thank y'all for commenting. Please feel free to comment while we're talking, and we're going to get you on that you can actually ask the question of me, ask the question of Mrs. Hill, of Miss Hill, and we're going to continue on with this amazing conversation. So, Tam, I know you can hear me. I hear you, but we don't see you. Um, we're going to keep on talking. Can you hear me, Tammy? Oh, I'm not able to hear you. All right, Miss Tammy. Let's see. She's going to continue to work to get back on, but so we can see her. But watch this, ladies and gentlemen, as we talk. Let's recap here for a second. So we actually have a student athlete that she talked about losing the father of the family when he was 5 years old. Now, how many of you have experienced that? I don't know how many, but if you have, then you know the pain of losing the father of a family when the child is young. It's difficult at any time, but especially when the child is young. Then let's talk about the fact that when he got to middle school, Jamal wanted to actually quit playing sports because he got injured. That's a tough time. And then imagine coming back, and now you understand what you need to do as a young man, as you say you want to become this professional athlete. So listen, young people, you're getting some very good information tonight, and I want you to continue listening and watching as we continue with this conversation. So now, Tammy's back. Tammie, so you talked about the struggles, you talked about some of the challenges you and the family faced. What part of Jamal's success makes you the proudest, not just as a player, but as a person? What has he done as he was growing up or now as an adult? What are some of the proudest moments that you can remember with Jamal? We're having some technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to continue. We're back. We're going to continue. So the question I just asked him is, what has made her proud? And I know there's some great proud moments that we're going to get to here in a second. So while we're waiting for her to come back on, let's talk about this. And I hope you hear me closely and hear me sincerely. With youth education and sports, everything we do is about meeting young people where they are and helping them become the great adults they're destined to be. So we're talking about academically, we're talking about spiritually, we're talking about their work ethic, because here are the 7 pillars of success for youth education and sports. We start with vision, not what you just visually see with your eyes, but we're talking about in your mind. You got to see it in your mind first. Then we talk about your goals. What are your goals? Your visions come from your goals. Once you establish your goals, you have something to work on, which means our next pillar is habits. Habits. What are you doing every day to achieve your goals? And then our fourth pillar of success is focus. You have to be able to focus to make sure that you get the work done that you're trying to do. And then vision, goals, habits, focus. The next thing is work ethic. Phenomenal work ethic means that you probably outwork everybody else that is trying to accomplish the same thing that you're doing. And then right after work ethic, we talk about financial literacy. Financial literacy. That's the next pillar where you understand what you need to do with money when you earn it. So you have to earn money, you have to save money, and then you have to learn how to invest money. And that way you will have money for a very, very long time. And then our final and last pillar is character. Character is our final pillar of success. You have to display great character in this world to succeed and to accomplish your goals because character is what you're doing when nobody is looking. So let me run through those again. The 7 pillars of success for youth education and sports are vision, goals, habits, focus, work ethic, financial literacy, and character, young people. So now we're waiting for Miss Tammie Hill to come back on. The video went off. We're having some technical difficulties, but hopefully she's close to coming back on and we can continue our conversation. Tammy, can you hear me? So she's still working on getting back. So as we wait for Tammy to get back, we're going to continue to talk about some of the things that we mentioned tonight. So the first question is when did Tammy, when did Jamal Hill's mom realize there was something special about him? Well, she said it was when he was about 8 or 9 when he said he wanted to become a D1 athlete and go on and play professional football. And he has accomplished that. So he was 8 or 9 when she realized that. So that's absolutely amazing and beautiful. And then she knew what she had to do to help him achieve that goal. Then the second thing here, the second question of the night that we talked about is what was Jamal like when he was in elementary school and middle school? Well, the first thing she said, he was a leader. This young man, she saw the leadership ability in him when he was 8 or 9 years old, going through elementary school and then, of course, into middle school. So that's outstanding. And then we talked about what challenging moments has this family gone through. And the family, and she talked about the fact that Jamal lost his father. His father passed when Jamal was about 5 years old. And then Jamal got injured in middle school. And that was a tremendous blow to him because he did not want to play sports anymore. And as you see, he bounced back, ended up having an amazing high school career. And then even in high school, he did not sign early because he was weighing all his options because he had like 40 offers. And he had to make one of the toughest decisions in his life. And he chose the University of Oregon and went across the country, left the state of Georgia to go across the country to the state to Oregon. To Oregon. He went all the way to the state of Oregon and played football and got his education at the University of Oregon. So, ladies and gentlemen, these young people, it's why you have to play. This is why you have to pay attention and do all the work, young people, so that you can become who you say you want to become. So let me check on Tammie right quick. Let's see where she is right now. Tammie, you can't hear me? Check your settings again. Let's check your settings again because I can't see you or hear you right now. Hopefully you can come back on and we can finish the conversation. But
I
let's
can't hear
log
you.
off and then log back on. Oh, there you go. I can hear you. I just can't see you. Can you hear me now? Oh, I believe I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
Let me see.
So
Let me
let's see if
log
you
out
can
and come back.
come back in.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yes,
Okay, I
ma'am.
had
I'm
to
gonna bring
log
you
out.
back in.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Hey,
What it
technology is amazing.
it is.
It
It
can be
is.
amazingly good and it can be amazingly bad.
It does. It worked when it worked. When it don't, it don't.
E- Exactly. Oh man. Well, I just recapped while we were trying to get that together. I was recapping, but the question I was attempting to ask you,
Oh, it
um,
went out again.
it went out again. You can't hear me. Uh-oh. Check
Uh,
your.
went out
I can hear
again.
you. I can still hear you. Check your mic and see if because I
Okay.
can hear you. Uh-oh, we lost you again.
Come on.
Oh man. Let's see. Okay, as you see, we're having some technical difficulties, but we're gonna get Tammie back in as soon as she can get back in, and then we're gonna continue with this video conversation with Miss Tammie Hill, mother of Jamal Hill, number 56 with the Houston Texans, outside linebacker, special teams performer. And here we go. We're gonna try Tammie, get her back in.
Okay, I can hear you.
You can hear me now?
I
Okay.
can hear you now.
Excellent. Okay. So we talked about the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
What part of his success makes you the proudest right now? I know there's been a lot of great moments. What are some of the proudest moments, not just as a player, but as an overall person?
Just as an overall person, it just makes me proud of him to know that he's my son. Just to say
Yeah.
that I'm his mom. To watch him just living his dreams makes me so proud of him that and that he can be such a light of hope to someone else.
Mhm.
Just to say he's my son,
Yeah. I
gives me
love it.
such joy. Gives me such joy.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's hey, it gets no simpler, but it gets no better than that when someone can say, hey, this is we just talking about the fact that he's my son. I'm blessed and thankful for that. I love that. I love that truly. Because that's the spirit of a mom right there. When they say that, that kind of answer is the spirit of a mom. So I love that, Tammy. I love that. And
Okay,
can you
Sam.
still hear me? Oh, it went out again. Yeah, we're having some amazing technical difficulties. Let's see. Tammy, see if you can hear me. See if you can get in another spot in the house that gives us
Don't be asking me
a better
now.
internet connection on that. Let's see. So we're gonna try this again. She's coming back in.
Hmm.
Let's see. We got it. Let's see. Let's see. You can hear me?
I can. Hmm.
Okay, good. Excellent. So uh so now we talked about the injuries. We talked about the fact that you just thankful that he's your son. So we're gonna move over to some of the things you instilled in him when he was growing up. Like, let me ask you this: when you were pregnant with Jamal, did you and your husband talk about like the way that you wanted to raise him? Did y'all actually have a plan or anything in place to say, man, you know what? We want to do this with him. We want to do that. Okay. Talk about okay, so we know there was no plan. So now what when he
No.
got here, when he was born, what did y'all want to instill in him? What did you start instilling with him once he got here?
And I say to Jamal all the time, he's my little Isaac because and I say that because he came into my life as at a crossroads. Him and his brother are 16 years apart. So
Oh, that's right.
there's
I
there's a
did know
huge
that.
there's a huge gap. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a huge gap. So it was a crossroads in my life where I was like, okay, This one is
Oh man, I lost you again. Oh, you was about to say something great. Oh man, come back in, Tammie. We gonna work this out until we get to the end. We got to get this worked out. Um, here we go. So tell you know what, Tammie? Can you move? You think you can move to another area? Because it must be the connection for
let me
some
see.
reason.
Let me move over. I can move closer to my rotor, but let me see.
Let's see. Yeah,
See if that
let's
see
see
if
if that gives you.
that changes anything. 'Cause the router is right over there.
Okay. So now we just need the light on.
Yeah, I'm about to
Cause
turn
now I
the
can
light.
see you. I can see you in the silhouette. There we go.
Okay,
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
see if
Gotcha.
that gives me a little better connection here. Um, that's my son's.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. I think we good to go now. We gonna claim that we good to go now.
We gonna claim it, name it and claim it. So name it and claim.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So yep, we are 16 years apart. And then so what did you try? Was there something different you tried to do? Okay, his brother's grown. Now here comes Jamal. What were y'all trying to do? Were y'all trying to do something different, or say, oh, "Okay, we've done this before. Let's just see what we do at this stage again because things have changed in society. Let's see what we do now."
Oh shoot, this crazy thing doing it again. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think
that this
it's
is crazy.
my
Let's see,
Wi-Fi.
and let me see if I can do something on my end. Let
Let
me
me
see.
see. This crazy thing that did it again. I don't think it.
So as you see, we're having tremendous difficulties with our technology, but she's coming back. We're gonna bring her in.
I know.
Okay,
I
there
know.
we go.
Okay. Um. Well,
Gotcha.
with him,
Mhm.
with him and the 16 years apart, it was because that, as I said, that was a crossroad in my life. So I was a more humble person in my raising with Jamal than I was with my first son. My first son,
Gotcha.
we were very, very strict parents. And then Jamal, I could tell all of our parents this, that your children. I knew that my oldest one would be more of a vocational, technical type of person. I knew that
Mhm.
Jamal was gonna be that college bound, driven
Ah,
type of student. So every child is different, and be okay with that difference, because college is not for everybody,
that's
you know.
true.
And we have
Yeah.
to be okay with that, but let them find what makes them happy and what's going to help them to succeed in their life. Don't be so self-motivated and we had the college fund thing set up for
Hmm.
my oldest one and this and that, but we saw that in him. So
Hmm.
every child is different, and I was okay with them being who they were and different,
Right.
you know.
Right. I love that. That's good. I like that. That's now see that's something I'm going through right now, Tammie, because my daughters are 8 years apart, and of course there are similarities, but like you said, they different, and we have to accommodate the difference and work with them in those differences
Or
so
they,
they can so they can be happy and they can live the lives that they supposed to live. So I love that was a great reminder for me. So thank you for saying that because that's very true,
yeah.
and that's awesome. Now, do you think a lot of that came from your HR experience that you was able to see that being an HR professional and understanding how to put people in the right positions in the right places, or that was more just hey the mom and you the nurturing and the mom understanding side.
I think both. I would
Okay.
say both. And listen to your kids. Pay
Mhm.
attention and listen to them. because there's some key things that you can pick up on, and as parents, because nobody knows their child better than that parent that's with them 24/7, and
Right.
they're totally different in the classroom than they are at home. And be okay with accepting when somebody tell you that, because being a prior educator too, teaching, you
Mhm.
know, everybody want to say, well, no, not mine, and yeah, yours.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So, you but but try to have conversation with them. I know one thing I can share with everybody. One thing that was a rule in our household, that we have one day of the week that we come to the table and we put everything on the table. Whatever we talk
Mhm.
about on the table, whether it's disciplinary, rather it's lack of, rather you didn't quite. We ain't having on you telling mom and daddy how it's gonna go. It wasn't those kind of means, but it was coming
Right.
to listen to both sides of, and see how they're feeling and what they got on. But our rules in our house is our rules in our house. I'm gonna let you have a voice, but it was those moments for them to have a voice, but to know their place.
Ooh, yes, yes. I now, Tammy, you just hit on something that's real big in this day and age, where I've seen a lot of parents that don't. It seems like the tail is wagging the dog instead of the dog wagging the tail. It's kind of like who is the adult and who is
So
the child. You know what
I'm
I'm
not
saying? So
your friend.
yeah, it's oh,
I'm
don't
not.
get me started on that. That friend thing is amazing. Now I've never I didn't understand it before I had children, and I definitely don't understand it when I have children. I never understood that I'm an adult, and I know a lot of people might get on to me about this, but Coach Brown is telling y'all right now, yo, I'm not friends. How am I gonna be friends with my kids? That's not that's not my role. My role is to be their parent. My specific role is to be their dad, and their mom, her specific role is to be their mom. And I have adult friends, not key friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so thank you for saying that, because I think that it's taken out of I don't want to say context, but I guess it is, because I hear that all the time when you hear somebody say, "Well, my kids are my best friends." I I don't know if that needs to be that kind of relationship. Now, when they become adults, I do agree. And you tell me how you feel about this, Tim. I do agree when they become adults. Yeah, of course. Now I can have different kind of conversations with you
Mm-hmm.
by far. But
I agree.
we- we're
I
not gonna
agree.
have you. We're not gonna be. You're not my friend as far as I'm a treat you. Because if I cannot discipline my friends, how can you
No.
can't discipline your. So
Right.
if my kid is 10, 11 years old and I'm walking around talking about that's my best friend, but that means you can't discipline them, because I've never seen a friend discipline their friend. I just never seen it. So I'm always careful about those statements, and
Hmm.
I always I like what you said. Hey, I'm the adult.
Come on, bunny.
You're my child, and I'm gonna play my position,
Right.
and I'm gonna need you to play my position. And I used to say that in the classroom too, as an educator, Tammy. I used to actually say that. Hey, that was like one of my opening opening conversations at the beginning of the school year. Hey, I'm gonna play my role as the teacher, as the educator, and I need you to play your role as the student. And hey, I'm gonna do my best job of teaching, and I
Right.
need you to do your best job of learning, and we're gonna be fine. We're gonna have a
Right.
great school year.
Yes.
So I'm glad you said that. That's tremendously important. So let's move forward, because I'm trying to
Mhm.
get through this. We're having this technical difficulties tonight.
I
But let me ask
know.
you
I
this.
know. But that's okay. We're gonna work through it. We're gonna work through
We're gonna work
it.
through it. That's right. I appreciate you. I appreciate now I really see where Jamal getting it from, because your tenacity to stay on here is amazing. So yes, man. Yeah, just coming. So when we
Yes.
go out, just keep coming back in. Just keep coming back in.
That's it.
Um,
We're gonna get it done. I'm not a quitter.
exactly. Yes, ma'am. Uh, So now I'm gonna have to teach next time I talk to Jamal. I'm gonna have to say, hey brother, I see where you get that stick to itness from. I see it. I see it. Um, so what was game day like for you? Let's go back to high school, then at the University of Oregon, and now as you know in professional football with the Houston Texans. What is game like? Because I remember I was trying to connect with you
What
more
was
things.
game
We'll
day
talk about
like?
that later. And you was getting ready to go to a game,
You
and
know,
what
let's
is
see.
game day
Okay,
like for
so
you?
game.
Uh oh, oh man. And thank y'all for watching tonight. Everybody that's watching, we've had some tremendous difficult, but in between the difficulty, we've had a great conversation. So she's gonna come right back. But the question when she comes back is, what is game day like for her? What is game day like at the mother of a professional athlete? Let me add it to the stage. So Tammie, what is that like? What was it like at Morrow?
Well,
What was it like at the University of Oregon? What is it like right now with the Houston Texans?
I think game day as a parent is it's stressful because you know that they're putting their bodies on the school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was a little more calm and collect about
Okay.
it. I wasn't quite as nervous. College, I can just it's just it was nerve wracking because he wants to be that playmaker. He is so focused at games. And one thing I remember him looking back, he said, one thing I can say to anybody about your children and playing for game day, you may, but
Mm-hmm.
whatever game that you can be there for your kids, be there because it's nothing like them knowing that voice of their mom,
Ooh,
that
yeah.
one person they can look up there and say, that is who. It could be 10,000 people sitting in the stadium and he would say, Mom, I heard your voice say Scoob, hit somebody. Or, the cut. He said, I could hear your voice out of 10,000 people in a stadium. So even though my nerves would be on edge, I can remember, I can remember when they, when Rose Bowl, my nerves was so bad at the Rose Bowl. I think I got up. It was going into like the fourth quarter, and I want to say it was tied up. It was what, but I got up and I was like, I got to get out of here. I had to go out by the tunnel and just stand by myself and have a moment. And then all of a sudden I can remember everybody saying, Herb ran the ball in, Herb ran the ball in. So I'm trying to run back in to get back in with the crowd, with get back there back in time enough to see that. And by the time I got to the top, they had won, and everybody was excited. And but be more than a fan for them because they look for you. It's
Absolutely.
important for somebody that they know to be there. I travel and I can tell parents all the time, and it's not easy because I traveled 2,916 miles. That's the flight from here, from Georgia to Oregon, and that's what, like a 6 hour flight, and then I always had a layover. But I made it my point, to commit to it when he said that's what he wanted to do, to make sure that I was there for him. So be there, sacrifice, sacrifice. It's not easy, but whatever you can do. My game day ritual is to just pray and ask God to just cover him, keep him, and let him have fun. Have fun.
Amen. I love that. I love that. Now we lost your
That's
screen,
mine.
but we
Keep
heard that
running.
powerful statement
Samantha.
you said when you said you said sacrifice because you traveling a long way from Georgia to Oregon. That's a long way. But you were there because I know you were there because I spoke to you. I know it, but before several games over his career, and you were headed out there. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
I know you sacrificed tremendously from Morrow to Oregon to even now. That's amazing.
Mm.
And that is a tremendous sacrifice because when your child goes across country, there's no even on a flight, there's no way to get there fast.
Nope.
If something
No.
happens,
No, it's
you
not.
can't get there fast. And no, there's no scenario unless you connected with the Star Trek people and you can go in that little portal and get out there fast. but
Man,
uh,
I know.
but,
I know.
but that
Yeah.
hasn't been created yet that I know of. So yeah,
Yeah.
God bless you and the family for all that traveling you have done over the years and continue to do.
Mhm.
But I love the best ritual on game day is to pray. I I I think that is the most beautiful thing you can do as a parent is pray for your kids and stand in the gap um and thank God for covering um your child and
Mhm.
protecting them because as you know it's a very physical game, very
Yeah.
dangerous game, and
Yeah.
you're absolutely right about the fact that to this day, Tammy, my mom is 86 years old, and she'll tell the story about this was when I was in college as well, and I don't know if I did it or not. I don't know. I just had to take her word for it. But she said she yelled my name. I made a play, and I looked up in the stands and pointed at her. I don't remember. I might have heard her. I don't know, but she said I pointed right at her. So it goes to your point is yeah, our parents being at the game is very important for any student athlete, any student artist. If you have a daughter that plays the violin, a daughter that's in the band, a daughter that's in a recital, dance, the whole nine, show up for your kids to the best of your ability because they need you there. They might not say they need you there or they want you there, but trust me, they need you there and they want you there. Trust me. You heard it straight from Tammie Hill. Hey, be there. That's the truth. So now, Tammy, I'm gonna
Mm.
try to get you on out of here because I know it's been tough. But I definitely want to get this question in um to you and come right back in. Um, because I know you went out again. But this is a question. This is gonna be the next question I asked her, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be what's something fans would be surprised to learn about you as an NFL mom? What would fans be surprised to learn about the life as an NFL mother? So as soon as she comes in, we're going to we're going to ask Tammie that question right there and see her answer as we get ready to finish up this student athlete playbook video conversation. And to everybody that's been watching, thank y'all for continuing to watch and work with us as we work through these technical difficulties. But Tammie is back. So Tammie, real quick, what's something fans would be surprised to learn about life as an NFL mom? What's something you think people would be surprised about?
We don't have it all together. It's
That's
not as
right.
it's not as glamorous as it seemed. And I have to remind everybody all the time, because people always want to come with different things and that um, different uh, some opportunities and some not. And I have to tell people, you know what? I don't play football. Jamal plays football. I am a part of the Jamal Hill Foundation. I'm a part
That's
of it.
right.
I'm not
Mm-hmm.
the face of it. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody thinks that they just out here making all this money. They don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. They they
Yeah.
they get paid well, but they also
Mm-hmm.
have a lifestyle and a life to live. So
Mm-hmm.
they're preparing for now and next
Mm-hmm.
because the longevity of most players in the NFL, if we really think about it, with all the pressure in the body that they use, is anywhere from 5 to 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Some longer, some shorter.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends. So don't think that, because don't believe everything you read. Let me put that. Don't believe everything that you read.
Right.
Everybody want to be talking about you should have this, you should have that. I know most people like well, why aren't you driving the car your dream? I said, you know what? Because I want my son to enjoy his lifestyle of his living. His
Mm-hmm.
making it in the NFL was not my come up.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Mm-hmm.
provided for him all his lifetime, and all I ask him to do is be happy for me. Don't get me wrong. I know if it's anything I ever needed or I ever asked for, there is no doubt in my mind and nothing in his that he would not do in this and that. But I'm not fleecing him
Exactly.
to have to come up
Exactly.
a lifestyle of an NFL. My lifestyle of an NFL mom is be that mother for him. Don't stop being mom. And
Mm-hmm.
part of being mom is just sitting down at a table in that childhood home and fixing a home cooked meal.
Woo!
It ain't
Yes.
always showing up at the jeweler in the mall. Don't wear your value up on your back.
Exactly.
Better teach them other things that are valuable in life. So the lifestyle, the living the life of Anna just makes me proud to say that he's living his dream. It's not about riches and glory.
Woof. Woof. Tammie. Now you just broke it down, and I'm so glad you shared that with them, because a lot of people do. Yeah, they don't understand that. Yeah, they make good money, but that money that they make in that short period of time of their careers, they're attempting to make that last for their life. And a
Their
lot of
life.
times, like you said, they don't earn enough money not to do anything else for the rest of their life. Most of these
Yep.
guys have to go get jobs in the whole
Yep.
nine, because they
Yep.
just don't make that kind of money during their playing career. And like you said, especially if they only play a short amount of time, like because most only gonna play 2 to 3 years. So if you
Yep.
get to 5, 7 years, you're a success in the NFL.
Yes.
And then if you
Exactly.
play 10 years or something like that, oh, you're a tremendous success in the NFL,
Yep.
because you've lasted long. And young people, coaches, teachers, everybody that's watching this, the best ability is availability.
That's
So I
it.
want y'all to remember that. Because if these players get hurt,
Yep.
that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
Tammie just told you the truth. You heard it live from an NFL mom. And I love what she said. She said, hey, continue to be that parent. Just continue to be mom. Just continue to be dad. And don't try to fleece your kid. Like that. Hey, that it sounds pretty simple, but I know it's very hard to do for a lot of
Don't
people out there.
fleece them.
So thank you, Tammie, for sharing that with us. And that's beautiful. Now, uh-oh, I think we just lost again. So when she comes back, it's two more things. It's two more things I want to ask Tammie before we get out of here today. You heard about you heard about you heard about her. I'm bringing her back in now. Boom. And thank y'all for listening, and thank y'all for watching. We're almost finished here. Tammie, two more questions for you. One thing is this. You and Jamal, you mentioned the Jamal Hill Foundation. Y'all have been doing the turkey drive for the last 5 years. What inspired y'all to do this? It's tremendous. And I'm gonna apologize to the world. I misunderstood the date when you sent me that, man. I was like, man. And then I hit you up there. I was like, man, I don't miss it. What? Man, what? Just too much going on. And but I'm glad
Um,
I was able to get this stuff over to you.
here we
You
go.
were still able to bless the
Come on,
family.
thank you.
But
Okay.
oh man,
I'm
we
not
lost it
going.
again. Let's see. We're gonna get her back because we got two more things we want to talk about when she comes back on. She's gonna log back in, and then we're gonna finish up this call. But thank y'all for watching the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation. And we've been having a great conversation in spite of the technical difficulties. We've been having a great conversation. So here it is, Tammie, Turkey Drive, 5 years, boom.
Amen.
What inspired y'all to do this amazing thing for the community? Rex, Morrow, Clayton County. What inspired y'all to do this? Uh-oh. They were frozen right now. But as soon as she comes back, as soon as we can get her talking, we want to find out what inspired them for the last 5 years, man. Jamal Hill, his mom, the community, they have been giving away. They have been giving away Thanksgiving meals for the last 5 years, and we want to know how, and what inspired you to do this, Tammie? What inspired y'all to do this amazing work y'all doing in the community of Morrow, Rex, Georgia, Clayton County in general? What inspired y'all to do this? Oh man, and right when you was about to start talking, it went off again. But we're gonna get through this, guys. Ladies and gentlemen watching, thank y'all. This is the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation, youth education and sports. But we're gonna get through this, I promise you. So Tammie, you heard the question.
Yeah, I
What
did.
inspired y'all to do this for the last 5 years? And what keeps y'all doing this?
Well, it started at a very young age, pouring into Jamal and to my entire family. I worked for Kraft Foods, making cookies,
Mhm.
as an HR person, and one of my main jobs there was outreach. what
Mm.
we what we could go what we could do to make a difference in our community besides putting cookies on the shelf. So that was one of my primary jobs, there. So that involved, anytime I would have a outreach project, emancipation house, we go out to different schools and stuff. I would always involve my family, so I started taking Jamal with me at the age of 5. And I can
Wow.
remember, taking him to the emancipation house, and at 5 years old, and it's a men and women's shelter, and we were there to prepare meals and to give out stuff. And my son had disappeared suddenly, and
Uh-oh.
I'm like a frantic parent. We're like, okay, I done brought him out here now, where is he? But when I
Right.
found him, what he was doing, it was a elderly man that he had been pouring iced tea with, and he had taken the time to sit down and talk to this man and just have a
Wow.
conversation, just listen to what he had to say. And that did my heart such a good. And the man said he was just so joyous and so thankful that this child
Yeah.
sat down and actually talked to him and didn't look at him as somebody that was ugly or somebody that didn't do. And from that point on, I took him to every event that I went to, and we always did something to give back to somebody else. So installed that within him. So when we he got up in Oregon, he said to me, he said, "Mom," he said, "I want to give back to my local community. What can I
Yes.
do?" And I said, "Well, we could do a turkey drive." Um, and the first year we did just the turkeys. The next year we started doing, bags of groceries. So we give out, a complete meal, Thanksgiving meal, and a turkey. The first year we did first 50 cars. The next year we did about 100 cars, and it has grown to we have given out meals and turkeys to close to 300 families. And that not only poured into him keeping it going here, he started this same activity there at Oregon, which has
Mm-hmm.
become a tradition that they have kept on. And in Oregon, he involved all of the players and,
Yeah.
the coaches and the staff, the medical staff. They gave out
Yeah.
turkeys. They gave out medical, information to families, and gave out. And he was able to give out 1,000 turkeys, not only to families there in the community, but to local food banks the 3 years that he was in Oregon. So it made me so proud to know that I planted a seed and I'm watching it flourish to be a upstanding citizen and young man, not only in the NFL, not only in his own community, but abroad. So I thank
Right.
God for that, to be, and that I installed that with him, to be a tender-hearted person and kind-hearted to give to somebody else.
Tammie, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Uh-oh. I think we oh man, I think we lost her again. Man. But while she comes back, while she's gonna come back, let's go to the comments and let's see what's on the comments right here. So she's coming back.
Okay.
Let me add her to the stage. So Tammie, that's beautiful. And my business partner with youth
Oh,
education
thank
in
you.
sports, he made a comment. He said, "Awesome mom," and that's exactly what she is. And so thank you, Coach Williams, for that comment because that's absolutely awesome. And Tammie, yeah, she definitely is an outstanding mom and doing her thing. So parents, coaches, I hope y'all are watching this
I just
and
like
understanding some of the
it's
things that that Tammie has done, that her son has done, and pouring into the lives of others with the food drive, the turkey drive, and then now you're talking about not only doing it right here in Rex, Morrow, Georgia, Clayton County, Georgia, but Jamal and his mom have she's planted a seed that now Jamal is doing this out at the University of Oregon, and man, that's beautiful that that has actually taken place. So now, just recently, Tammy, it was a great honor to see that Morrow High School, the Mighty Mighty Mustangs, my alma mater, Jamal's alma mater, seeing his jersey retired up there. How did that make you feel, Tammie? Seeing that your son jersey retired. How did that make you feel? And I think we lost her as we get ready to close up this. Here she comes back in, and let's get her feelings on this. Tammy, I just asked, we were just together recently, and thank you for the invitation and letting me know about it. And it was just because you sent me the text, then Latricia called me and told me about it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna adjust my schedule and make sure I'm there. Cause my best friend, my so you got Andre Hastings. He was one receiver at Morrow. Then my other best friend, he wore number 3 back when we were at Morrow. So that's his
Oh,
jersey number as
wow.
well. So seeing that,
Wow.
and he was coming, he was trying to make it. He had a meeting that popped up at the last minute, so he could not come with me. So that's Samandy Bryant who wore that number back when we were in high
Mhm.
school together. Um, on some of those great Morrow teams. So um, I just want to get your thoughts on that day. How did that make you feel? How did that make Jamal feel? How did that make the whole family feel about his jersey being retired here recently on Friday, February the 20th, 2026? How did that make you, Jamal, and the family feel to see his number retired at a place where he gave his blood, sweat, and tears during his high school career?
Words can't express the joy, that and appreciation and honor that I feel as a parent, um, as just a part of the great community. And as I was sharing with you, so many people were against me sending him to Morrow High because nobody figured it would. I trusted the process, and
Mm,
I knew my son,
yeah,
and in the place. And as a parent, to see this honor, to be able to be a part of this from
yeah.
the beginning to now, it just brings me joy. It's unspeakable words to be spoken. tears, blood and sweat, and the tears that he cried to be humble and knowing that how much he truly, truly, truly worked hard and earned the way. But just a joy, just a joy. Just thankful, thankful.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I saw it on. He got choked up there when he was getting ready to speak, and that's when I knew it hit home for him. It was real right there in that moment. When he choked up when he was getting ready to speak, and so I'm just tremendously proud of him. Seeing him from that young 10th grader when I first met him to now, and yeah, just amazing, amazing young man on and off the field, and that's what I'm always just remember that the young man than him now, you know, a grown man, still young, but a grown man now, and him getting choked up when he was ready to speak there. I said, oh yeah, it's hit home now that this is real. Hey man, you earned this right to have your jersey retired, not only for what you did on the field, but what you've done off the field and what you just described, Tammie, is what he's done here locally, here in Clayton County, and what he's done out there at the University of Oregon. So as soon as Tammie comes back, we're gonna close out this amazing student athlete playbook video conversation featuring Miss Tammie Hill, mother of Jamal Hill, number 56 with the Houston Texans. And you just heard us talk about recently his jersey being retired at Morrow High School. Number three jersey retired at Morrow High School in Morrow, Georgia, here in the great state of Georgia. So, Tammie, as we get ready to close out, and thank you again, your tenacity of coming back on and on has been tremendous tonight. Um, what would you like to leave with the parents, the student athletes, the young people, the coaches, the teachers, the educators, anybody that might be watching this video? What would you like to leave with them tonight?
If I had to tell any parents anything, let me give you a couple of words of wisdom. First of all, understand that they're young men trying to figure it all out. So, in this craft, this job called football, it is a job. Just be steadfast in your support for them. Win, lose, or draw. In the winning season, in the trying season, in the losing season, be the same. Be that same rah person, but just be there. Be present in every moment that they have. Those are the things that they're gonna remember the most. Because at the end of the day, when they go home, you mom, your dad, and that's your son. You're not the headline. You're not the you're not the face of the NFL at home. You're family. Make sure you keep family first. Don't. And as parents trying to figure it all out with these kids in high school with all the NIL stuff that's going on, and it's so much pressure. I'm gonna say this to you: don't chase money.
Mm, 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 mm.
Get a good education, get a career wherever you go. Make sure you know where they're staying. Make sure you visit and know exactly where they're going to live, the environment they're in. And one thing that I learned on my journey with this, I took a journal with me to every visit. So I wrote
Mm.
down things that if I didn't understand them, I knew how to go back and research them or find somebody, make a connection with somebody that can give you understanding of this whole process, because it can be a lot. It can be overwhelming. But in that way, and I used to tell everybody, whatever, remember when you say something to me once, you better be able to say it to me twice the same way. Hold them accountable as much as they hold you accountable.
Yes.
Don't be don't be so conduced into the limelight of things,
Mm.
because Everybody's journey is different. And one thing I can thank God for my son is even through the NFL journey and this and that, he didn't get an invite to the combine. He didn't get an
Mhm.
invite to the senior Reese's Bowl.
Mm.
But that was okay. So don't talk about what didn't happen. Celebrate what is happening. Pat him on the
Yeah.
back for all of those things. Appreciate the little things that they do. Be there as a rah, 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 rah. Be that best cheerleader that you can. But don't,
Yes.
because this school over here, if David is getting $50,000 and they actually want your son and they decide to give him $30,000, if you walk away from that $30,000 that was going to give him the best education and opportunity because you chasing 50,
Yep.
30 from 30 leaves zero. Don't leave money on the table, but don't chase money. Be wise
There
in
we
all
go.
your ways. And
Yes.
don't try to live out your chances of I didn't make it then, so I'm gonna make my success now through him and now. Don't put that pressure on
Mhm.
your children. Let them have fun. Let them love the game. Be that parent, that stand up parent. Be that prayer warrior for your children at all times. So if I had to say anything to any of you, don't get caught up in the rah rah. It's especially if it's gonna anything that's gonna take your son out of his ethical standards of the manhood he needs to be, and make sure that when he goes off to someone else, and like I left my son in Oregon, what I told Cristobal and them was,
Mhm.
I'm leaving you in charge of him to make him a better man. I'm leaving him as a boy, but
Mhm.
he's gonna grow here with you in his manhood. So teach him what he needs to be a man for his next, which is more than catching a ball.
Exactly. Absolutely. Wow. That's a power. We lost your visual, but we heard your words, Tammie. Miss Hill, we heard your words. You mentioned prayer warrior. You talked about growing into a man, parents not living their dreams through their kids. You talked about the fact, yeah, we're gonna bring you back on as we finish up here.
There we go.
Let me add you to the stage. Let me bring you back up. There we go. There we go. You
Mm-hmm.
dropped some words and some phrases that everybody needs to hear. I love the prayer warrior. I love the fact that you talked about how our kids are going to have to grow on their own as well. They have to do their part.
Mm-hmm.
Go get that education and don't get caught up with all the limelight stuff. Because now they put on this is a big production now. College football is a huge production. So I love that. So, parents, you heard it right here from an NFL mom right now, letting you know do not get caught up in all the money stuff. Do not get caught up in all the money. She said it. Because in this day and age, yes, they're going to get offered some decent money, period. They're going to get that. They're going to get offered some pretty decent money. Now, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to have to have discernment on which money to take and from which school. But the thing that has not changed is go to the school that's the best fit for your child, not only athletically, but academically. Because one thing we have to stop doing is having our kids go to school and they're leaving without these degrees. We want our children to get these degrees because when the NFL is over, when professional baseball is over, when whatever sport they're playing is over, they're going to still be very young.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually, if you have a long career, you're still going to end up retiring in your 30s. You're going to be in your 30s. That's if you even make it to the professional level. So you still have a long life to live. And you have to be able to do something You have to have a skill, a business, or a profession that somebody's going to pay you over and over and over again for.
Mhm.
That's what Miss Hill
Mhm.
shared with us tonight. Do not get caught up in the glitz and the glamour. And if you're chasing that money, if you're chasing the NFL money, the NIL money, if you're chasing the collective money, you can be setting yourself up for a very, very rough ride. So youth education and sports is very blessed to be able to interact with a lot of young people, a lot of youth, a lot of young ladies, a lot of young men that are on their way to, I'm talking about they're on their way to amazing lives.
Mhm.
But all of it is not athletic, though.
Nope. Nope.
We have a young man right now at the University of South Carolina in the Call Me Mr. Black Male Education Program. So this young man is going to probably be an administrator of school in about 5 years. He's going to graduate next year. In 3 years from there, he's going to probably be an administrator at a school.
Mhm.
So young young men, young ladies watching this, understand that you can become whoever you say you want to become, be it a professional athlete, be it a doctor, a lawyer, a police officer, a public information officer, a real estate investor, an actuary,
Mhm.
an IT specialist, a cybersecurity specialist. There are a whole bunch of professions out here that you can become, that you can get into, be it working for somebody else, building your own business, or what have you. But you can do it. But it's going to take the work, it's going to take the character, and you're going to have to do your part. And when you do your part, you're going to be amazed at how many people want to come and help you.
That's right.
So you heard it tonight. Our special guest, Miss Tammie Hill, mother of Jamal Hill, number 56 with the Houston Texans. You heard it tonight. And Tammie, before you go, I can't see you. I hear you, but I can't see you. Um, we had a comment come through. We're gonna look at this comment right quick, and then we're gonna sign out. Let's see. Here we go. We got Coach Williams again. Great word, Tammie. He's speaking directly to you. Great words that you
Thank you.
that you shared tonight with us, and we appreciate you tremendously because
Thank
you
you.
took the time to do this. And I know we've been trying to do this for a long time, and I'm so happy that we
Yes.
finally got it done.
Yeah.
And thank you for working with me tonight to get through these technical difficulties. And so, everyone out there, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking through all the technical difficulties tonight. And I hope you learned something that you can use immediately to help your young student athlete, your family continue to move forward in this world. And prayer works, y'all. Prayer works. If you didn't learn anything else tonight, you heard Miss Hill, Tammie Hill say, be a prayer warrior for your children. So
Yes.
continue to be there for them, pour into them, and help them to become the great adults that they're destined to be. So I am Barry Brown, author of the number one book for youth student athletes, a member of the leadership team for youth education and sports. If you have not gotten your copy of the Student Athlete Playbook, Success in the Classroom, Sports, and Life, you can stop by um, it used to be Madu Bookstore. She's closing in Greenbrier Mall. Her last day open is March the 15th. So get by there and say and pay your respects and your show love to Sister Nia at Madu Bookstore inside of Greenbrier Mall. But go to Nubian Books out in the South Lake area to pick up your copy of the Student Athlete Playbook. And then you can also order online through Amazon. Go to the Kindle store, type in Student Athlete Playbook, and all our materials will pop up: the journal, the facilitator's guide, and of course, the book. And you make sure you have your student athlete ready to go and for them to become the great adult that they're destined to be. So thank you again, Tammie. Thank you. We'll
Thank
talk.
you.
I'll reach out to you soon. And let's continue to help our young people become great adults. Everybody, they're not going to stay kids forever. They are going to grow into adults, and let's have them ready to be productive and outstanding adults. One love, and we'll see you next time for the next Student Athlete Playbook video conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.